Enemy of God. Salvation is a call unto sanctification, separation, and purification. We are a called out people, a royal priesthood, and a chosen generation. We have been restored and consecrated to the Father. At every point in our lives, we should pause to examine and assess ourselves, whether we are running the race set before us or getting ourselves entangled with the inconsequential things of this world, or living with heaven in focus. We live in a fast-paced and trendy world. Everyone seems to want to keep up desperately with the trend and the latest development. In the world of fashion, entertainment, technology, and other facets of life, there seems to be a new trend every single minute. For believers, this might be dilemmic, whether or not to follow trends or choose to solely focus on running the race to heaven. The Bible didn't ask us believers to live in seclusion or not to be a part of the world we live in. But the Bible did warn us not to be obsessed with the things of this world or get entangled with the affairs of the world that we might lose sight of heaven in Jesus. 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. The term world in this Bible verse is not a reference to the planet or even to all material things. In this context, the term world is a reference to the fallen, man-centered system or way of life. John gives a specific definition of this term in verse 16, which states, 1 John chapter 2, verse 16, "For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world." Someone who loves the way this world operates, including its control by sin, is a person who cannot also focus on the Father's will. We can't sit on the fence. It's either we are for Christ or for the world. Our passion, commitment, love, and energy are either channeled to the things that are God's or expended on the mundane things of this world. James chapter 4, verse 4. "Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore be a friend of the world is the enemy of God." What is James chapter 4, verse 4 telling us about enmity with God? James chapter 4, verse 4. "Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God." This verse is one of the most misinterpreted Bible verses among believers. However, the message James was trying to pass is clear. The Bible isn't telling believers to steer clear or run away from sinners, as many have interpreted it to be today. It is not telling us to detach ourselves completely from non-believers, because if we do so, how do we preach the gospel of truth to them and help them come to Christ and be saved? The central message of our faith should be love, as demonstrated by Jesus himself, the perfect example of love. He dined, sat, and spent time with sinners. He didn't avoid them like a plague or portray the holier-than-thou attitude. Rather, he embraced everyone, called them in. His whole life is a demonstration of the greatest love ever known. James chapter 4, verse 4 is a message to adulterers and adulteresses, a symbolic expression for unfaithful Christians who are committing spiritual adultery with the world. It gives a graphic description of Israel's unfaithfulness and deviation in their relationship with God. Ezekiel chapter 16 speaks in detail about this. James chapter 4, verse 4 is a message to believers who have come to see themselves fighting and agitating to get things done by themselves, forgetting that everything good comes from the Lord. Have you forgotten that everything good comes from the Lord? Do you now believe that you are a self-made man? Do you believe that you are a self-made woman? Do you believe that you are the captain of your own ship? James chapter 4, verse 4 is a message to believers who are Christians by the words of their mouth, but not in the reflection of their acts. James chapter 4, verse 4 is a message to Christians who have lost sight and focus of heaven. They have built their treasures here on earth and are driven by material things and possessions. They have come to put so much value in this passing world and all it has to offer. James chapter 4 verse 4 is a message to believers who have indirectly subjugated themselves to the devil through their choices. They have adopted the ways and the values of the world and are gradually treading the path of backsliding. Enmity with the world, friendship with God. Love is first of all an action word. We don't only confess with our mouths that we love God, it should also be evident in our actions and the daily expression of our lives, our worship to Him. If we truly love Him, we will follow His instructions and do His will alone. Our Bible focus, James chapter 4 verse 4, emphasizes that the relationship between man, God, and the world isn't one of neutrality. Neither is it a black and white frame situation. It is either we are fully dependent on God or we are fully of the world. Jesus' words in Matthew chapter 6 verse 24 adds refinement to the message of the book of James chapter 4 verse 4 is passing across. Matthew chapter 6 verse 24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon. So I ask you today, what master are you serving today? Can you honestly say without a shadow of a doubt that Jesus is your master? You are following the Bible? Can you honestly say, I am a doer of the word and not a hearer only? One of the best things about Matthew chapter 6 verse 24 is that it is a verse that does not require interpretation. We don't need to go into its Greek origin. The Bible clearly tells us no one, absolutely no one. Who does no one leave out? No one. That means you and I are included here. No one can serve two masters. For either you will hate God and love the devil, or you will hold on to God and love God and despise the devil. This verse does not leave any gray areas. I don't want you to question the question. I want the last 7 days of your life to answer this question. Which master do you serve? What would your life say? What would the last 7 days of your life say, that you serve God or that you serve the devil? Listen to the words of Jesus, John chapter 15, verse 18 and 19. If the world hates you, know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love its own. Yet because you are not of the world, but I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. You know what this tells me? This tells me that the world will hate you. And if the world doesn't, that means you're not like Jesus. The Bible makes it clear you cannot sit on the fence. You cannot be the friend of God and be the friend of the world at the same time. You cannot have one foot in heaven and another foot in hell. There is no such thing as spiritual neutrality. God and this world do not mix. You need to make a choice. It's either you will offend the world and be at peace with God, or you will offend God and be at peace with the world. Make up your mind. You have to decide. Don't sit on the fence. On the day of judgment, our lives will not be reviewed individually. You will stand there on your own. When the books are open, what will be next to your name? The enemy of God or the friend of God? Every day we get to decide. Each and every day we get to decide. On Judgment Day, will God look at you as His enemy or His friend? What is a priority for you in this life? When we take the affairs of this world as priority, we become absorbed and consumed in its realities. We begin to conform and align to its values and thinking. Instead of us striving to do God's will and seek His wisdom, we fuse our energy into chasing worldly pleasures. Conclusion: friendship with the world corrupts. Intimacy with the world is enmity with God. A person can't chase his own self-centered ambitions and still please the one who has called them. Our goal daily should be to look more like Christ and dead to the things that are of the world. Because Satan is the ruler of the affairs of this world, conforming to the world will be neglecting God's side and choosing to tread on the pattern of this age. Romans chapter 12 verse 2 admonishes us not to be conformed to the pattern and ways of this world, because as a matter of fact, God's ways and the world's are two divergent paths. Romans chapter 12 verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Our gaze should be fixed only on the things that are above. Any desire or pursuit outside of the will of God is lust. The Christian race is a continuous journey to a glorious end. It is a call to the greater glory with a bountiful reward in the end. However, we should run well and reach the finish line. We should hearken unto the call of him who has called us to the end. The crown is not for those that started the race, but those that ended well. Luke chapter 9, verse 62. And Jesus said unto him, No man, having put his hand into the plow and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of God.